Anybody know Mustang Sally?
This is a quick setup video for setting up your Casambi app with a Dazor grow light. You will notice that when you plug your light in, it is unpaired and the network is the Evolution. If it does not say Evolution, you want to make sure your firmware is up to date. Go ahead and click on the light and add to is where you want to click there, and then choose a network. Now I recommend making a network first, or if you're first starting out, you can always click create a network here, or just choose a network that you want to pair your light to. So in this case, I'm going to go with the indoor grow and choose that. Now the Casambi app recognizes that the light has a Bluetooth in it, and so what you want to do is find your nearby devices. So in this case, I've already paired this light, and what I want to do is go ahead and unpair this light here. So we're going to click edit, which was in the top right up there, and we're going to unpair this device. So it's already paired, and I'm going to show you guys how to go ahead and pair in a new device. Now that we've unpaired, we're going to click done. So when you first start out, if you've already created a network, you go to the scenes menu down below, and you can go ahead and build a scene, any type of scene that you'd like. So if you want to be running your light at 70% or 90% or 85%, you just build a custom scene around what you want the light to do to activate. Now the reason that we're building multiple scenes in this situation is so that we can actually take those scenes and line them up into an animation. Animations will allow your light to start out at, say I select 20%, and then I want it to increase to 50%, and then 70%, and so on throughout the day. And then I can change those so that they increase over different increments in time. So if I want to increase from 20% to 50% over half an hour, I can attune the light through an animation to do that. So we're just gonna build a quick scene just to show you guys how to do that. So click the plus button, add scene, and then we can add a scene in however we want to adjust the scene. And typically what I do is type in what the scene is used for. So I will name it flower at let's say 56.5%. You can get pretty specific with the Bluetooth, especially in the mid and the high ranges. We're going to click done here, and what we'll do is actually set the light itself to 56.5% inside the scene. So let's go ahead and find our Luminaire. So it's plugged in, and click the more button at the bottom, and you'll see nearby devices here. Now the nearby device that we just unpaired at the beginning is right here. We're going to add that to the indoor grow. Now because the scene that I have selected is indoor grow, this will pop up first. That's why I recommend creating a network. Now if it blinks and it doesn't pair right away, I'm just showing you guys just so you know, in case it doesn't do it right away. Like right now it did do it after it communicated, but if it doesn't do it right away, just click again and click add to indoor grow or whatever your network is labeled. So now this light is paired into our network. We're going to go down to luminaires, and you'll see that the light is set on right here, and it's at 100% right now. If we want to turn the light off, you just quick tap on the icon and that will turn the light off completely. Quick tap again to turn the light back on. And then if you want to set specific numbers, you can long press on the actual icon and then you can click right here on the percentage, and when you click on the percentage it will pop up, and let's say I want to set this to 50% exactly, or you can get pretty specific with this, so let's say 56.5%. Now you'll notice that the light is at 56.5% at the bottom. So now that we have our network set that we are working on, currently we are working on indoor grow here, and we have our light paired to our network. So our light shows right here. What we want to do is pair that light to individual scenes. So if you are using an animation and you are using 20%, 50%, 70, 85, 90, within that animation you want to make sure the light is paired to all of the individual scenes that you are using. So what I do first is go ahead and just click on each individual scene one at a time and make sure that the light is paired to that scene. So grow room at 20%, we're going to click on that. We're going to click edit and then we're going to click on that. So edit, grow room 20%, and we're going to pair that light. And I'm just going to run through these really quick to show you how easy it is. And I'm clicking edit and then each scene. So vegetative 50%, pair that light, flower 85%, and each time what you want to do when this opens up is just click on the individual light and make sure that it's pairing to the scene. I'm going to leave the animation alone right now and just show you the individual lights being paired to the scene. And feel free to pause the video, go back, look at things if you need to. If you ever need to reach out to our customer service, we are happy to help. Alright, so now that I have the light paired into every single scene, which we can check by again clicking edit to see which lights are paired. You can see there's 2 lights that I have paired in each one of these. Some of these I only have 1 light paired in. So click edit, and then if we want to check, I'm going to click on grow room 20% just to check and make sure that that light is paired into that. So what we want to do now is in individual scenes, we're going to set the light's intensity so that when that scene is activated, the light goes to that percentage. So we're going to long press on the icon, and then we're going to click the percentage right here just to do this a little bit easier and more specific. So I'm going to click the percentage and I'm going to set this to 20%. Now when this, I'm going to click done up here. Wow, that was quite the arrow. So I'm going to click done on each one. Again, edit, open it up. If this is flower set to 100%, then I want to make sure that this light is also set to 100%. So you can long press and use the dimmer bar to drag up and down, or you can press on the actual percentage, and that's a little bit easier to set. So again, vegetative at 50% up top here. So we want to make sure that the light is set to 50% in the scene. Now you can also set, different types of scenes, like one that just says flower, and you can have different lights set at different intensities if you wanted to within that scene. This just kind of simplifies everything. So flower at 85%. Let's speed this up a little bit here. Whenever you unpair a light, it will remove it from all of your scenes, so you want to make sure that you repair that in. And let's do the last one. Flower at 56.5. Let's set in. Okay, so now we've got our Luminaire set, and it is this one that is paired to all the scenes. What I'm going to do is edit this individual Luminaire so that I can identify it. So I click edit in the top right, and then I'm just going to change the name to Parmax 8 Parmax. Oh, it'd be great if I could type on this. Here we go, Parmax 8 tent. So that just lets me know that it is in the tent. You can go ahead and tap an icon if you want to save a picture of it, which makes it a little bit easier to select. So we've got the light set with a name so we can recognize it, in a picture of the actual light. Just makes it a little bit easier to identify. If you ever need to, you can make the light blink as well to identify the individual light. So now that we have our scene set, we're going to set our timer, which is down here in the more section. And you can see the timers are right here. You can set multiple timers. I like to work off of one timer and keep it pretty simple. This is for the daytime animation. You know, it's a 12-hour at 100%. So go ahead and open up your timer, or in your situation, if you're starting, you can always hit edit and then this plus sign and add a new timer that way. So I'm just going to open up this timer and show you that I have this timer selected for all of the scenes and all of the scenes paired in. So if I choose 70% or 85%, they're all going to work on this timer. And I have the time that the timer turns on and the time that the timer turns off. So setting time on, time off, you can do sunrise and sunset and allow it to bring the light up slowly. So if you want to, you know, increase sunrise over, say, 45 minutes in the morning and slowly go from 0 to whatever percentage you have it at, you can do that. You can also set individual days. Most plants, you're going to just, you know, run all of the same days exactly the same. So you can also do a dated timer, where you begin on a certain date, and that way in the animation it will change over time as you have different timers. So keeping it simple again, you just want to set your time by itself, what time you want the light to turn on and what time you want the light to turn off. So again, just clicking done here. So I've got the light on at 6:30 a.m., off at 6:30 p.m. for a total of 12 hours. Now if we wanted to add the scene that we just made, the new scene, we click add scene down here. And we're going to go ahead and put that 56.5% into the timer. And click done, top right. Now we have all of our scenes selected to our timer. Again, done on the top right. And if you are running multiple timers, so I'll just show you guys real quick. Let's say we're running another timer, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. And we don't need a fade time, so we're just going to add a scene. I'm going to select the 56.5. Now what you can do, I'm going to click done in the top right. Now that I have two timers set here, you can activate one timer over the other. and make sure that it is enabled down here. So if I want to save 2 timers but then enable 1, what I would do is open this timer up by clicking here, and then I would turn the enabled off because I don't want this to activate, but I want to save it for later. And again, click done in the top right. So you can see that this one, it's kind of faded, and this one is enabled, and you can just see by the color of the text. So now we're going to go back. We've got our light set up, we've got our scene set up. Now what I'm going to do is just quick tap on one of, sorry about that, I'm going to quick tap on one of these icons that I want the light to pair to. So if I want to run my flower 85% and just keep it there, I'm going to select that by just tapping it, and I'll show you down here in the luminaires. When we go back, the light itself will be set to 85%. So if I wanted to select 20%, I would tap that, and you can see that the light, well, it should be set at 25, so 20%. So let's check. It didn't look like it went to 20, so there's our error. We're going to make sure that the scene is set correctly at 20%. And this is why it's a good reason to just double check. So if I select that 20%, it will set the light at 20%. If I wanted it at 56.5%, you can see it's at 56.5, and so on. I do a quick how-to on how to do an animation. This is what an animation looks like. So we're going to go ahead in the scene selection. You see scene selection, go ahead and click edit, and then the plus sign up here, and we're going to add a name. Let's just call it sample anime, and we're going to click add animation right here. And so in this case, you know, we want the light to say start out at 70% and slowly increase from 70% to 85% to 90 to 100%. So what we'll do is start with the 70 and click done in the top right here, and then we're going to add a weight. Now the weight, you just click add weight here. What the weight will do is slowly increase, and you know, in between scenes, if it goes from 70 to 85%, you can set how long that's going to take. So let's say I want it to be 2.5 hours in the morning to stay at 70%, and then it'll increase to that scene that's next following it. So 2.5 hours. So currently we've got this set for 1 minute here, and then it's going to, so it'll turn on, and over 1 minute time it will slowly heat from 0 to 70, and then it's going to stay at 70% for 2.5 hours. So we're going to add our next scene here, and then we're going to add our next weight after that. Just same thing, same order. So we want it to go from 70 to 85. I'm going to select 85. We're going to add a weight, and let's put this to 2 hours. And you can see that the total amount of time is being added up right here. So if you know that your total time that your light is on is 12 hours, I want it to equal that by the end. So because this is 1 minute, I'm just going to throw 29 minutes onto the next one and get that to equal out. So we're going 70, 85, 90, and we're going to go 4 hours and 29 minutes. And so now we are at 13.5 hours. That's too much. So we're going to cut this down by 2 hours. Now we're at 11.5 hours total at the top here. And what we'll do, and you can see that this 2:30 equals this 2 hours equals this, etc. So if I add a scene, it's going to want to keep that pattern going next. So let's go 100% at the end. Click done in the top right. And now we need to make this equal to 12 hours here. So let's take this down an hour. Let's make this quick and easy. And then we need to cut off 59 minutes. So let's increase this by 1 minute and then cut off an hour at the 85. So what this animation is going to do is it's going to start out at 70%. It's going to stay at 70% for an hour and a half. Then it's going to go to 85% for 2.5 hours. And then it's going to go to 90% for 2 hours. And so on and so forth to 100% for 2 hours and 29 minutes, which all equals to 12 hours. And that is pretty much it on how to make an animation. You can see that the sample animation that we just did pops up here. If I want to select it, I'm just going to press on the icon and then it will activate that animation. I think it's fun sometimes to add colors to these, get them to be more recognizable. So you can see I just made a sample animation copy and selected a color. If I want to erase the old one, click edit and click the X right here, and you can go ahead and remove any additional scenes that you want. And that is how to make an animation.